Hello and welcome to the DeHart House podcast. My name is Alicia and I'm coming to you from Texas. This is my podcast about the fiber arts. Welcome if you're a new viewer and welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Today is Tuesday. I'm recording on a Tuesday, which is odd. It's Tuesday the 18th, which means Christmas is really close. really close. So, yeah. I'm sitting in the living room today, and I really wanted to get the Christmas tree in the background. The Christmas tree is right over here in front of our windows in the living room, but if I leave the curtains open, the light shining in is super bright on camera. And if I close the curtains, it's crazy dark in this room. So, sorry. I will put in a picture of our Christmas tree with the gifts underneath it. I really wanted to have it in this episode because this is going to be the last recording I have before Christmas comes. We will be traveling to visit family, and so I'm not going to even pretend to record a podcast while not here at home. So in advance, Merry Christmas to all of you who celebrate Christmas. That is a holiday that I celebrate, and happy other holidays to everyone who celebrates all the other holidays. And there's too many to list, and I don't know them all, so I'm just wrapping it all up into one to say, I hope you celebrate with your family and enjoy this time of year with someone that you love. Okay, so I have some tea over here, which is still very hot. This is matcha green tea, and I put a little bit of Splenda in there as well, just to sweeten it up a little bit. Not that it really needs it. I do love drinking tea. I did find today when I was unwrapping the package to put this tea bag in here that there is a lot of packaging that can come with tea, and it's kind of annoying because it creates a lot of trash that we don't really need. So anyway, there's a lot of packaging with that. That's part of the reason, actually a big reason, why we stopped using our K-Cup coffee maker and went back to our regular coffee pot with the grounds up top and a filter, and it brews like 12 cups at once. But part of the reason we stopped using the K-Cup coffee maker is because it just makes a lot of trash. And that is something that Michael and I are really conscious about, and we do our best effort to reduce, reuse, and recycle, and be conscious of the trash that we're making. And K-Cups produce a lot of trash, so yeah. Anyway, that is my first random tangent for this episode. Okay, so I don't have much to show you, so let's just get on with the show. So first of all, in 4 days, you guys, the shawl knit along is ending. So all the shawls of fall is ending on December 22nd. So I will close out the finished objects thread for that on the morning of the 23rd. And now I am in Texas, so I am in Central Standard Time in the US. So the morning of the 23rd, my time, is when I will close that thread. So you can have all through the night on the 22nd, all the way up till midnight. And if the thread is still open, feel free to post your finished object in there. Sometimes I wish when I'm recording that this was like a two-way camera that would not only record this way facing me, but would also record that way, because Marjorie was being very cute on the other side of my camera, and of course. Anyway, she's rolling around on the floor and playing with her bully horn chew thing. I call them chewies. If it's something like a rawhide bone or a pig ear or whatever we end up getting her, I just call them all chewies because she just sits and chews on them. Anyway, yes, so the shawl knit along is ending in a few days. So make sure you post your finished object pictures in the finished object thread. Again, any pattern, any yarn, any size. If you use one of my patterns, please post your picture in extra time. And if you use some of my hand-dyed yarn, also post your picture in extra time. So if you used a DeHart House Designs pattern, DeHart House Creations yarn, and you finished your object, then you will post it 3 times. You will get 3 entries into the giveaway drawing at the end. So I will be giving away a see, now I have to make decisions. I will be giving away a bag and a skein of yarn, and that will kind of depend on, I'm not sure if I'm giving them away together as one prize or separately as 2 different prizes. So we shall see how many finished objects we get, and then I'll decide from there. How's that sound? Okay, so finish your shawls, post those pictures, and get that all set. Yeah, so that is the major announcement for today. I want to remind everyone that DeHart House Creations on Etsy, which is my shop, everything in the shop is 20% off through December 26th, so the day after Christmas. So yarn, bags, just everything that's in the shop, 20% off is my Christmas gift to you guys. Yeah, does that cover announcements? Okay, so, yarny goodness. First of all, what am I wearing? I am wearing my Ravelry shawl. This is a shawl that I designed this year, and it is available on Ravelry. It does include brioche knitting, and I love this shawl. I have been living in this shawl this fall and winter. I don't know if you can call it winter here, but oh my gosh. I love it. So the yarn is Teeny Button Studios and Cloudborne Merino fibers. Cloudborne. Cloudborne and Teeny Button Studios. And Teeny Button Studios is the owner, dyer behind Teeny Button Studios yarn. That's the speckled yarn that's in here. Her name is Robin, and she has a podcast called Cherry Pearls, and you should check it out if you haven't already stumbled upon that on YouTube. She and her mom do the podcast, and they're super cute. Anyway, yep, so that's what I'm wearing. Update on my wind down pullover, which I wore on episode 50. I was wearing a black sweater that I had knit. It's the wind down pattern by Drops Design, which is free on Ravelry. And I was having trouble with the bottom of the sweater rolling up, which is the last thing you want on a garment, to roll up and show things you wanted covered. So I did wash it. I did knit it out of acrylic yarn, so I did throw it in the washing machine, which is what I do with most of my knits, to be honest. At least the superwash and acrylic things. So I did put it in the washing machine just with a regular load of clothing, and then laid it out flat to dry. Hello, Marjorie. And I did put some very heavy math textbooks down on the bottom of the sweater to hold it down. Excuse me. Because yes, I laid it flat and that bottom edge wanted to roll, and I was like, You've got to be kidding me. So, it has completely dried. It's now folded up and put away with the other sweaters. I haven't worn it since then. So that's the update so far. That after washing it, it still wanted to curl. So I had to put heavy objects down on that bottom edge to try to stop it from rolling. And so next time I wear it, we'll see what happens. If I wear it and it still wants to roll, then I need to rip out that bottom edge and do something different. And before I start ripping stuff apart to try to fix it, I will have to do some research. Yeah. So that's the update. It's not the best, but it could possibly be fine. I'm just not super optimistic. Okay, so that's the update on the sweater. Now, you guys, I had a bunch of finished things to show you last time, so this time I have nothing. Nothing is finished, but we're getting there. So, it's only been a week, I think, since the last episode, which is awesome. I'd rather do these weekly because then I can keep track of everything, but 7 days is easier to keep track of than 14. Just FYI, in case you didn't know that, 7 is easier than 14. Okay, so first of all, behind me is my buffalo check blanket, and I do have a project page for this on Ravelry. This is a mitered square blanket that I'm knitting from the center out, and I'm using 3 colors of yarn. All 3 are worsted weight acrylic yarn. So first we have the DeHart yarn in white, Karen yarn in soft gray mix, that's the light gray, and then DeHart yarn in charcoal, which is the dark gray. I've added 2 squares to this since you saw it last time, which I put on last night. Yeah, I don't know, it comes and goes, my motivation with this blanket. But anyway, I counted squares, and I need to complete, so I've put on, since I'm working it from the middle out, so I'm doing it in rounds, or squares, if you will, around the outer edge. And so right now, I have a 12 by 12 complete. I'm working on the next round out to make it a 14 by 14. And so I've put on 13 squares so far around, and I need 39 more to finish off that round, which I wanted to have finished the 14th round, 14 by 14 square by the end of this year. I kind of made that little mini goal, and I don't know that it's going to happen because I'm not taking this thing with me on the road to go see family. That's silly. So I don't know. But I put in 2 squares last night, and progress is progress, right? Okay. There is a new scrappy blanket pattern out, and I've seen it on a couple of other podcasts. Didn't quite catch the name of it, so I need to look for it on Ravelry. But it's like a chevron. It makes me think of feathers, and I love feathers. I'm wearing my feather earrings today that I just bought the charms and put them on. Earring loops. But I love the look of feathers and the chevron shape with changing colors. It makes me think of feathers, and I love it. And I'm like, ooh, I want to start it. Calm down, Alicia. Calm down. You have this gigantic blanket to work on. Just chill, would you? So I love blankets. I love making blankets, and I love using blankets, so it works well, and I want all the blankets. But it takes so long to make a blanket that I just need to chill out, finish something before you start something new. But it's really awesome, and I need to put that pattern in my library, so at some point I can start it. And maybe I just need to let my scraps pile up even more, and have more scraps to work with. So anyway, this isn't a scrappy project. So, okay. That's that. I have a half finished object. A half object. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. Do you see that? Do you see that? This, another tangent. I'm wearing a Fitbit. I love my Fitbit. I had to replace the band on my Fitbit because it just wore out and it broke. I couldn't latch it on anymore. So I had to buy a replacement band. And I think I just picked this up at Walmart. But the hook, this little metal piece right there that you stick through the hole in the band, I'm sure it has an official name. I'm sure it does. But anyway, that little metal piece right there catches on my knitting like crazy bad. Or even just not hand knits, but knit fabric on store-bought clothing, it catches on that as well. And it drives me insane. So I am going to have to get a new band. Because I just can't have this thing tearing up my hand knits. Yeah. So anyway, I'm afraid I'm going to rip a big hole in one of my shawls. And I'm not okay with that. So, my half-finished object. Alright, I posted a picture of this on Instagram. I am AlittyKnitsToo. No, I'm AlittyKnitsToo on Ravelry. I am Read Knit Run on Instagram. Anyway, it's a mitten, and I posted a picture before I had completely finished it. I was still working on the thumb. But, you guys, I have finished the thumb, and I wove in all the ends, and this is amazing. Oh my god, I love it so much! I love it so much. Okay, if you watch Skandir Knits, her podcast here on YouTube, she is an amazing colorwork mitten designer. This is not one of her patterns. I'm not leading up to that. Wow, I'm horrible. Anyway, I was totally inspired by her designs and other designs on Ravelry and whatnot. And I just, for my gauge and the yarn that I'm using and the needles I like to work with, I cannot for the life of me find a mitten pattern that I wanted to knit that was the type of design that I wanted and would fit my gauge and yarn and needles. So I just designed one. I know. So yeah, this is the design here is inspired by all those gorgeous mittens on Ravelry and everything, and then I did the thumb out the side of the mitten rather than, so it doesn't come out here, it comes out the side. I wanted it to come out here off the back side, but I messed up, which is fine. Usually when I make mittens, I make the thumb come out the side, so this is not a big deal. But anyway, yeah, thumb gusset with some colorwork design on it. Nice colorwork on the bottom of the hand, or underside of the hand. Anyway, really simple. And then this gorgeous, I don't even know what to call it, here on the front. And the lines down the side. Super cool. Oh my gosh. And it fits super well. Now, I have small hands. So yeah, there's not a lot of room up here before you get to my fingers. But I love that in a mitten. Because as soon as you bend your hand, you get extra room, you know, when you bend your fingers around something. And what I find annoying is when I have all this extra room that makes it harder to actually hold on to things, like a steering wheel. So anyway, I love them. So and I did this neat color work ribbing thing down at the bottom. So it is stretchy. Oh, okay, so I knit a pair of mittens last year. Hang on, let me grab them. They're right over there. Okay, so it's always like, once it gets cold, I'm like, crap, I need mittens or gloves or whatever. Anyway, so this is knit out of Knit Picks palette yarn. I feel like I'm farther away from you guys. Which is 100% wool. Do I have a tag here? Yeah. 100% Peruvian Highland wool. And honestly, when I first bought this yarn, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel very good. Apparently the tag does not want to go back in that bag. But now that I've been knitting with more yarn and different varieties of yarn, I love it. It feels amazing. I don't know, I just had to get acclimated to it. Like it's an acquired wool, you guys. Anyway, I think it's super soft now, and I don't know why. But anyway, yeah, so this is Garnet Heather, and this is Silver. So it's a nice deep red, and then just a solid gray. Yeah, and it's called Garnet Heather, so it is heathered with a darker color, which just gives it this nice richness. Anyway, I love it. Okay, so these fit really well. Like I said, nice and snug. I feel like I can grab things. Plus, it's color work, which means it's gorgeous, but it's also thick and warm and awesome. So I knit a pair of mittens last year out of Knit Picks palette yarn, and I did it in a solid color. This is some other kind of heather colorway. Stellar Heather. Stellar Heather. Anyway, this is not color work. It's only one strand, so it's not as warm as these, right? So they fit okay, but like, let me take this mitten off. There's extra room. There's all kinds of, if I put my fingers together, there's extra room on the side, and there's a little bit of extra room at the top. Not a big deal. The thumb, it doesn't come all the way down, the thumb here, but whatever. And I did make the ribbing a little longer, which I want to do next time on these. But anyway, because it's only a single strand of yarn, the wind cuts through these like nothing. I live in West Texas where it's windy. So when I wear these mittens out to go start the car in the morning or walk to work if I'm walking, it doesn't do much for me because the wind just goes right through the stitches. Yeah, sitting here right now, they feel nice. Like, ooh, these are warm. You know, there's extra room, which isn't a huge deal, but it's mostly that the wind cuts through them. And I can't have that. The mitten can't keep my hand warm, and that's the whole point of a mitten. So, yeah. Now that I've just woven the ends this morning, so I'm actually going to give this a try outside and make sure that it keeps me warmer than the other one. And then I need to actually knit the one for my other hand. Yeah, so I'm super excited. I think it looks awesome. Gosh, my tension. Okay, tensioning for color work, it was way easier with this yarn than it is with a superwash yarn because it is stickier. Like, it's not actually sticky, but I think you guys know what I mean. Like, non-superwash wool has those scales in it, so it can grab onto the other strand and hold itself in place, which makes color work a lot easier because your stitches stay where they're supposed to be. Crazy. Anyway, I love it so much. Like I said, I think on the next pair, 'cause I want a matching pair, right? So I'll knit them the same length. But I think on the next pair, I will make the ribbing longer because I do like to tuck it into my coat. Yep. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I knit these up in like 2 days because I was obsessed. Didn't work on anything else. You guys, they look amazing and I love them. And like I said, I posted a picture on Instagram. If you would like to be a test knitter for these mittens, please send me a direct message on Ravelry or Instagram and let me know. Okay, so mitten, cool. I've also been working on a cowl design out of my mini skeins. So I also posted a picture on Instagram of my mini skeins all balled up, and I was honestly thinking about doing a mystery knit along with this cowl because it is sectioned off very nicely. Like, you do one pattern in one mini skein and then one pattern in another mini skein, etc. But I decided I'm just not ready to host a mystery knit along yet. So we'll put that on the goalpost for next year and just not tackle that right now. So yeah. So I am going to show it to you. I don't need to keep it a secret anymore because I have decided that I'm not going to do a mystery knit along because I'm not ready yet. So I am on the last skein, the last mini skein. So I'm using my Yarn-It, which I feel like every podcaster was talking about last year or 2 years ago. Anyway, it's just a plastic container to hold your yarn, hold your ball of yarn. So, and I'm pulling from the outside of the skein, so it does want to roll around and everything. So this just keeps it in one place. And it has notches at the top here, so you can stick your knitting needles in through the top, and the silicone base comes off, and you can put things in the compartment underneath, which I don't do. Oh, and then when you take that base off, it fits into a cup holder in the car, which is pretty neat. Totally taking this with me. I'll either set this thing up on the dashboard with the silicone base on, or take the silicone base off and then put it in the cup holder in the car. Only when I'm the passenger, you guys. Knitting and driving, like, first of all, if I could do it, I would. But no. Okay. Anyway, so let me take this out. So this is the last color, and this is my evergreen colorway. Yep. Evergreen, so nice tonal green here. And the other colors are, well, let me show you the shawl. Cowl. It's a cowl. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. This thing is awesome, you guys. Super awesome. Let me just do it this way so we don't have to worry about that strand. I have a progress keeper here just letting me know where the front is. like kind of marking the beginning of the round. Since I am doing this magic loop, I didn't have quite the right length cord to just go in the round, so I'm doing it magic loop. Yeah. I think it's kind of cool. Not just kind of, I think it's cool. Anyway. Okay, so let me go through the colors. We have, down at the bottom, I started with blueberries. The sunlight is kind of blowing this out a little. Then we have cranberries, this red. Then eggnog and dark chocolate. Yeah. And now I'm doing evergreen. So hopefully you can tell each colorway is using a different pattern, different stitch pattern. But I'm keeping the stitch patterns crazy simple. So all you need to know how to do is knit, purl, and yarn over. And knit two together. That's it. Knit, purl, yarn over, knit two together. Yep. So yeah, I love it. I think it's super cool. The plan is to keep this for myself. But who knows? It might be a gift. Probably not for this, no, definitely not for this Christmas, because I've already covered gifts for everyone. But you know what? Can always start on next year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, I'm excited. So all I need to do is knit up the last 20 grams here of evergreen. And then this cowl will be finished. I just wanted to keep it a simple, basically a one skein wonder, but the one skein is 5 mini skeins, 20 grams a piece, which then equals 100 grams, which is one skein. Wow, that was complicated. But anyway, yeah, I've been dyeing up a bunch of mini skeins, and I kind of need something to do with them since I'm not going to start that chevron-y blanket anytime soon because I need to finish my other blankets. So yeah, I love it. So yeah, fingering weight yarn. These are US size 3 needles. I'm just double checking. US size 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter. They are Chow-goo needles, and Chow-goo is my absolute favorite. I love the cord, and another big factor is the join between the needle and the cord, and the join is phenomenal. Now, I will say, I do have a set of interchangeable needles. They're not Chow-goo. They are Melodies of Life. Is that Knitter's Pride? Knitter's... I want to say Knitter's Pride, but I'm not 100%. Anyway, the biggest thing about interchangeable needles, and I was hesitant to buy them because I like a fixed circular needle. Like the join is super important to me. And my fear of getting interchangeable needles because you screw them together is that it's not going to be the best join in the world. And yeah, when I knit with my interchangeable needles, they unscrew themselves while I'm working with them. Which means, so they unscrew a little bit, which means there's now a groove for your yarn to fall into. And it always gets stuck on it. And it just, when it interrupts the flow of my knitting process, then I don't want to do it. I don't want to work with it, and it just spoils the whole thing. So, since I'm talking about needles, I'm just going to say that because I've had such a problem with it, that I'm completely turned off to interchangeable needles now. I don't want them. I only want to get fixed circulars and just go with that. Now, yes, I would like a smaller cord on this project so I don't have to do it magic loop and I could just go in the round. But the project still flows really nicely. I don't have yarn snagging on something, which thankfully I've never had a strand of yarn actually break by snagging on the join, but it could happen, and that would be devastating. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. My opinions. I've had not the best luck with my interchangeable needles, and it's not to say that they're a bad set, but I use the, you put so this is my interchangeable needle. You put the pin through the hole to tighten it really tight on your cable, right? And it still comes loose. And it could just be because I just twist my needles a lot and it forces them to unscrew. I don't know. But I'm not enjoying them, so I'm not using them. Which is unfortunate, but that's how it goes, right? Okay, what else do I have to show you? I did start a pair of socks. A new pair of self-striping socks out of Patton's Croy. They are in the workout room on the treadmill. They are my work on these socks while you're walking on the treadmill project, and so I'm just leaving them in that room. If I bring them out here, then I will work on them out here, and then I'll get through the project so fast and have nothing to do on the treadmill, so I'm just leaving them in there. All I've done is the ribbing at the top of the first sock. So nothing crucial. I'll show you those next time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been working on these for a little bit. The sock is almost finished. Okay, so I have, we'll just kind of segue here a little bit. I have, while I untangle this, a shop on Etsy called DeHart House Creations, and I'm selling handmade bags and hand-dyed yarn. And some of my hand-dyed yarn is self-striping, which is super fun to work with and to dye. So I love sock knitting, and I love sock knitting with self-striping yarn. It's the bomb. So you guys, what? Yeah, okay. So this is a 2x2 rib sock. So just keep in mind there's that patterning on here. Okay, come on. Yep, there we go. All right, so this is browns and blues, and I'm calling this colorway Over the River. Over the River. So there's the underside of the sock with the plain stockinette. And oh my goodness, why won't you focus? Because of the word welcome back there. Is that the problem? Whatever. Yeah. Okay, so these are for Michael. This is the first sock, but it's going to be good car knitting. So, yeah. And I just did the short row heel in the striping color. I'm doing the toe decreases right now. And, yeah, I think it looks really cool. I did use the light blue, dark blue, and light brown for the heel. And see on the front of the sock, dark brown to dark brown. Look at that. A full dark brown here and then dark brown there. Anyway, I highly doubt I could possibly do the same thing on the second sock, but yeah. So this is called Over the River. I was also going to do one with more greens and browns to call it Through the Woods. So Over the River and Through the Woods. So I'll do Through the Woods at a later time, but anyway. So here it is balled up in a gobstopper ball. So it is 4 stripes, 2 blue and 2 brown. You've got a light and a dark of each. So it goes light and dark of one color, and then light and dark of the other color. Those needles totally went through my shawl. That's funny. So light and dark, light and dark. Oh, yeah, I love a blue-brown combination. I think it's super awesome. Anyway, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams. You can choose to get your skein as a gobstopper ball, so I will wind this up for you and then ship it, which is an awesome Christmas gift. Or you can choose to just get it in a regular hank. And yeah, so again, everything in my shop is 20% off now through December 26th. Was that a rabbit? Something just ran really fast in front of my house. Something small and brown. Just. It may have been a cat or a dog. We have so many stray cats and dogs. It's probably a dog, to be honest. It really saddens me. Anyway, yeah, so I'm working on those. Knitting it up mostly as a shop sample, but figured why not just make actual socks out of it. So those are going to be for Michael. I haven't worked on them on the treadmill because I'm in the toe decreases now, and I don't want to have to think about decreasing while I'm walking. So, okay, that covers everything that I've been working on. So now I'm going to talk about other things. Okay, so the other things section. I have been keeping a bullet journal this year, and I love it and need to use it more, honestly. I put all this effort into setting it up, and then I forget about it, which is horrible. So, but part of the reason that I forget to use it is because I've got, this bullet journal is for, I was using it for just like work stuff, and I wasn't keeping everything all in one place. So then I had a different notebook, which I don't have sitting right here. I had a different notebook to log my knitting to talk about on the podcast. And then I had a different notebook for other, and it's like, no, the whole point of a bullet journal is to have everything in one place. What is wrong with you? So, okay. I just want to share with you guys some things that I've added. So, let's see. I'll just show you next. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just show you next week before I've filled it in with like detailed information about myself. I don't know how open I really want to be in this podcast. Anyway, all right, so I've tried a different weekly layout. Okay. So I have been trying to lose weight and get in shape, which is proving to be more difficult than I thought it would be. Super frustrating. It is super frustrating, you guys, and I hate that it's super frustrating. Anyway, okay, so here's my new weekly layout. So here's next week. Okay, can I figure this out? So we've got, where am I putting? So we've got a calendar because I'm always needing to see like When is the 14th? Okay. So I've got that on there with a little bit of artwork. This section right here is for meal plans. I just haven't put the title on there yet. So I tried meal planning and I really liked it. So I want to get back into doing that. It helps me stay on track with eating the right foods. It's also really helpful when I go shopping that I don't have to go just buy random things. It's that I'm actually buying things that I plan to use in the next 7 days. Yeah. So I'm going to get back into meal planning, which, this is the holiday season when we'll be traveling. So I won't really use it this week. But anyway, I have a place here to log my workouts and a place here to track my weight, which I'll just go ahead and show you guys. This week, I'm going to share some numbers. Whatever. I haven't filled a lot in this week. So we've got pounds on the side there. And then I just put a dot and connect the dots with lines so I can see the trend. As you can see, I gained a little bit from yesterday. Whatever. Anyway. And then, this section right here is for my crafting stuff. So, either writing about it or drawing little pictures of things that I've been knitting and sewing and whatever. But it's a place here where I can keep track of the things that I worked on this week, so I know what to talk about on the podcast. Yeah. And then this big section over here is for me to actually journal and write about how I'm feeling, what I ate, and whatnot. I actually really enjoy writing those things down. It gives me an outlet that I don't really have to share with anyone, but sometimes you need to get the words out, but you really don't want to share those words with anyone. Yeah. So I have a place now where I can write about how I'm frustrated about my weight loss or happy that something happened. And I can put it down here. I did used to journal a bit when I was a college student. And it's fun every once in a while to go back and look at those. Yeah, that was a really rough patch, or that was a really high point. And just go back and read about what I was going through. So I'm going to start doing that more. It's just a healthy thing that I know I found helpful when I used to do it. I don't know why I ever stopped, and I want to start again. So I have that place. Then, at the back, end of the month, I got a lot of blank pages. This is going to be the end of this, right? This is for this year. I need to start setting up my bullet journal for next year. So I've been tracking, been challenging myself with my workouts. And I don't know why, but coloring makes me really happy. So if I can add a coloring aspect to my workout. Anyway, so I'm doing this 30-day ab thing. And so every time I do a day, I can color it off. So you guys, I did 50 crunches this morning, which was tough. Those last 5 were way tough. And then I held a plank for 45 seconds, which was also really tough. I don't know how. Okay, look at the last day. I'm going to have to hold a plank for 155 seconds. What? And do 160 crunches and 64 leg raises. What? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But honestly, I thought today's thing was going to be extremely tough, and it was mildly tough. It was the last 5 of everything that really those last 5 seconds and those last 5 crunches, and that's what really got me. But otherwise, not a problem. So that's cool. And then I love running. It's too cold to go outside, so I'm doing it on the treadmill, which is not the most exciting, but we rearranged our workout room. We got the TV set up with a new Fire TV stick that we bought. And so now I can watch podcasts while I'm running or Netflix or whatever, and that's really helping. So I'm just logging my mileage over here, which I'm going from nothing at all to something. So the distances are nothing to write home about. But yeah. So yeah, I like the visuals. It's another creative creative outlet for me, and just gives me just a little bit more motivation to go work out. But I really like that I can bring, I just bring this in the workout room with me, and I can see what day I'm on, and I can see, okay, last time I ran a half a mile, so this time I want to try to go a little bit further. And I don't have to play around with my phone to try to go through my workouts on there, because I'm finding my Fitbit app and my running app aren't actually talking to each other like they're supposed to be. So I need to find a new running app, and it's really frustrating. Everything's frustrating, apparently. So anyway, yeah, so I'm loving that. I believe I showed this to you guys at the beginning of the year. I did set up a page of socks, and as I've, finished socks, I wanted to color them in. I am behind, so I need to finish coloring in socks, but I tried my best. I tried my best with this, like, the self-striping, and then this like kind of variegated thing, and then I did some color work socks. That's my waterfall sock design and my garden trellis design. They're not the best pictures, but I don't care. It's kind of cute. Oh, that would be kind of neat to get a picture of like this next to the actual sock. This is pretty good, honestly, to the Patton's Croix woodsy colorway. If you've ever knit with it, that's pretty good. Anyway, I've definitely knit more than 7 pairs of socks this year. In fact, I have 3 pairs of socks under the Christmas tree right now that haven't been put on here. But yeah, so I need to color those in. I didn't quite keep up with it like I planned to, but that's okay. I'll finish it off. And, yeah, let's see, what else do I have back here? Anything? Nothing. All right. That was it. Apparently all I planned was socks. Knit a crap ton of socks. That's a metric crap ton, by the way. All right. So yeah, my weight loss is more like a weight gain right now, but that's because I'm, not just focusing on my food. In fact, I'm not at all focusing on my food. I'm eating whatever I want, which is the problem. So, it's annoying. Anyway, I was super hardcore focusing on my food and not working out at all, and I lost weight. Now I'm super hardcore focusing on my workout, not on my food, and I'm gaining weight. So I need to meld these together somehow. I don't just want to lose weight. Actually, the whole point of losing weight is that I want to be more physically fit and able to do more things. So I don't just want to be, I don't want to be a skinny person who can't lift 10 pounds. So anyway, I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be able to do more things than I can do right now, and that's the goal. So, I've come to the point where it's like, okay, so I'm gaining weight right now. Like, it's not a big deal. My clothes still fit and everything. I feel better is the big thing. And that's what I really need to focus on. So yeah, but meal planning helps. Like I said, if I don't bring home a bunch of chips and snack food, if I know tonight we're going to have this meal, it takes the guesswork out of cooking, which saves a lot of time. Because honestly, I spend probably the most amount of time I spend in the kitchen is actually deciding what the heck am I going to make. Like, okay, so I have pasta and meat, but no sauce, so we can't do spaghetti. I have, and so I'm in the kitchen just trying to figure out what can I make with the ingredients that I have. And that's not a good use of my time. So I do just need to get back to meal planning because it did make life a lot simpler. Honestly, we're having hamburgers tonight because the calendar says so, and I know we have the ingredients because I bought them. Done. Anyway. Okay, guys, so I'm finished talking. I have nothing else to say. Again, please enjoy time with your family and loved ones. And I don't know if I will see you again in 2018. So if I don't see you again until next year, Happy New Year. And if I manage to squeeze an episode in between Christmas and New Year, then that's awesome. But I'm not going to make any promises because, like I said, we're going to be traveling to visit family. And the minute I make plans, they'll change. So there's no point. I hope everyone who is traveling also has safe travels, flying, driving, riding trains. And, yeah, just be safe, have fun, keep on knitting, and, post your finished shawls in the finished object thread on Ravelry in the DeHart House podcast group, to be eligible for prizes. And, I will see you guys next time, whether it's in 2018 or 2019. Okay. See you guys next time. Bye.